Hey, this is Dwight Robertson. Just having finished a large youth conference called REAL, but they took the RE and the AL and they separated those out on night three and put VIV in the middle, and it became revival. Thanks so much for all the praying you do, those of you who are listening. I entered the week with such clarity as a speaker. I committed to not be specific in my own personal expectation, but I believed that I needed to carefully listen. And the enemy fought me about as hard as I can remember in a very long time. Even before I got to the event, I sensed him coming against what were the purposes of God and the servant of God. And I have absolute peace that what we were able to deliver, Adrian Dupre, Paul Epperson, and myself in this youth conference was exactly what God asked. He was so present. I felt his pleasure while I was preaching. I was the speaker, but he was the one putting the words in my mouth, and that's always what matters. There was a holy hush in the room. Students didn't move. They felt God's presence. So many of them responded with upraised hands that indicated they wanted someone to pray over them. That they had a huge counselor and small group staff leaders group, and they were scrambling to keep up. I was walking the room praying over students. Evident throughout the room was a hunger and individual sincerity, a beautiful sense of God's presence. Even with tough guys, one guy said to me, "I don't cry and I don't feel things like other people feel things, but man, I can't deny I was undone and I was moved to tears by God's presence tonight." He was speaking to me. Had time not been an issue as this was their last night, I really think things would have even broken out into a further, but I think maybe that's what's going to happen. I sensed this was the beginning pangs of a revival among them, and undoubtedly that many of these individual students experienced such a touch from God in terms of personal revival that because I spoke to some of them afterward and couldn't believe some of the stuff they were sharing God was doing in their hearts and lives, and I could see it on their faces. God's going to carry this thing forward and use each of them. I am so grateful for how you pray, those of you who are behind us in prayer. Many students that were with us are going to head into a youth camp, a fall youth camp in just a couple weeks. And I heard from their leadership, they're going to retain the topic of revival for that upcoming gathering. So we pray that God will continue that great work.